Why are Democrats so gun-shy about having this debate with the American people?
What it's about, Nicole, is that we do not want to be as reckless with the facts as Donald Trump is. And we are promising the American people, put us in the majority. We will protect health care, we'll protect paychecks, and we'll address corruption.
So I really think that as Democrats, we need to show that we are for the people, for the average person, not just passing tax cuts for the wealthy, which is what the Republicans have done.
So President Trump says, every time you see a caravan like this, he says, quote, think of and blame the Democrats. Well, you're a Democrat. What's your reaction to him?
Well, that's ridiculous. We want comprehensive immigration reform. It's a broken system, and we need to fix it. But this is an example of Donald Trump as master of distraction. One day he wants to talk about the caravan. The next day he wants to talk about the transgender community. Tomorrow he's going to be talking about and attacking NFL players. We as Democrats are not going to take the bait. This is an election where we're going to focus on lowering health care costs, increased pay, cleaning up corruption, fighting for the people, no matter what distraction Donald Trump tries to put before us.
To tell us how the Democrats react to what looks to be a cri de guerre, a loud scream of fear and fright from Donald Trump that they're coming through the gates, and the Democrats are welcoming them in as illegal immigrants by the thousands. What the Democratic leadership should they be saying to the American voter at this moment? Congresswoman.
Well, first of all, Chris, Donald Trump is the master distractor. Here we are 15 days out from this election. We've got Democrats all over the country who are some of the sharpest candidates I have ever seen in my political lifetime. They're running scared, and what do when they're running scared? They resort to fear tactics, and that's what's happening. What we need to stay focused on is the legislation that we will do once we win back the majority. That's number one, bring down the cost of health care and prescription drug prices. We will rebuild this country with a real trillion-dollar infrastructure package, not a fake one like the president introduced. And number three, we're going to make Washington functional again.
Does she have a point, Congressman, that you wish sort of more of your party would listen to?
Well, look, I think our party, by and large, is made up of people who are committed to a core set of values. Protecting people's access to health care, improving family incomes, getting money out of politics.
Immediately, let Mueller do his investigation. If something comes of it, it comes of it. If nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it. But we're going to take back the majority, and we want to do the work of the people because we're for the people and what the people need.
But I've also introduced some bills that would change the way that Congress works so that it starts to focus on working for the people as opposed to partisan politics.
Fighting for the people of Rhode Island. I make sure that I'm working on the issues that matter most to my constituents, certainly on fighting for better jobs and higher wages and affordable health care.
Really the challenge before us now is to actually deliver, to really do the things that we have been talking about and fighting for the people.
I mean, I don't know why Democrats are getting kicked around so much. They seem decidedly on message.
That the Democrats' message is working. Health care, which some people have mocked this week. Health care seems to be drawing political blood, and so that's forcing people like Rick Scott to just start lying.
In fact, what you see is that the ads the Democrats are running are consistent in terms of message discipline on health care.
What is that coherent message that the Democrats should make their own for the next 2 years?
Well, I think one of the things that impressed me about this campaign was the message discipline of Democrats running both in the House and the Senate and gubernatorial. They were talking a lot about health care.
For the large portion of this campaign, Democrats have been focused on pocketbook issues and on health care, which is what I think most of the American people have been focused on.
In their final pushes in the last few days, Democrats focused on health care. The president zeroed in on immigration.
The issues are narrowing. The president spending a lot of time talking about immigration. Democrats focused on health care.
At rallies across the country, Democrats focused on health care, while President Trump stood his ground with a mix of immigration fears and the economy.
And when the Democrats stayed on message and really hammered it, and if you look at the ads, you'd be surprised at the percentage of the ads that are focused on the health care issue for that reason. That does resonate. If you can get a voter there for one issue, that's fine.
I mean, I've watched a lot of the ads that they don't air nationally, but they air in the local market. They're running on health care. I mean, they may not be in the same position, but they have a message. Well, there's this notion in the national media, we say Democrats don't have a message. If you watch local news coverage, you may not like it, but they have a message.
Yeah, apparently desperate one. But when you hear now that Democrats somehow don't have a message, that protecting access to health care and the basics of democracy are not a message, remember that millions upon millions of voters understand exactly what is going on.
where Democrats were focused on health care and that Republicans are going to take your health care away, and Republicans were focused on immigration and the wall, and look who won.